All right, 50 years ago today, the last remaining U.S. troops left Vietnam after years of conflict. The National Archives says there were around 58,000 U.S. soldier casualties as a result of the war. Today marks National Vietnam War Veterans Day, a day meant to honor and thank those who served. I want to bring in Vietnam War veteran Bill McClung now to talk about it. Sir, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
I want to get your sense of your feelings about this war almost half a century later, because it feels as if the narrative over the course of these 50 years has shifted a bit. As you know, first of all, I want to understand from you what it was like when you came home from the war, what American sentiment was like then, and what it is now, and how you feel about it.
Well, when I came home, and Vietnam veterans experience different things, but I experienced displeasure and people protesting and people throwing, spitting, yelling at us. I experienced fellow veterans in some cases from earlier wars that were angry with us and were ashamed of us because they said we were the first generation of American veterans, military veterans who lost the war, which, by the way, we didn't. And so it was confusing. The only thing is I had a great family, friends, support system. But the problem with that is they didn't know how to help. They wanted to, but, you know, they'd always say, you're home, you're safe, forget about it. But they had no idea that you're never going to forget about things that occurred and happened and so forth. So it was confusing. It took about 6 months for me to readjust. And after that, things worked out very well for me. So all in all, bottom line, I made out fine.
You know, I know that you do a lot of sort of outreach work talking about the Vietnam War. You do a lot of work with the New Jersey Vietnam Vets Memorial. I'm curious about the kind of questions that you're asked. You know, we have a whole generation now of adults, like we talk about millennials, and now they're in their 30s or whatever, who, you know, there's a lot of distance.
They're disconnected.
Yeah, the Vietnam War is something they read about in their school books.
It would have been like for us reading about World War II.
Completely. But for people our age, we would have known Vietnam veterans, you know what I mean? Right. But for them, it's like it's a real sort of disconnect. So I'm really curious about the people that reach out to you, the people that come to the memorials. You know, who are they? What are the questions they're asking? What is their understanding of the Vietnam War?
Well, first of all, we have a marvelous facility here. Our memorial is just wonderful, outstanding. And we also have our New Jersey Vietnam era Museum and Education Center. And the key is era. So we talk not only about the Vietnam War, but we also talk about things that were going on in what we veterans call the world, which was back in the United States. Sports, religion, politics, education. We're sitting here, you see in the background is some of our museum. And we also have a great group of teachers. We get about 10 to 12,000 students a year that come to visit here for tours. Grammar school, middle school, high school, we get some colleges. We also get some schools from Pennsylvania and New York because we are the only era museum that we know of in the United States.
Do they come?
Again, we have some.
Do they come with an understanding of the era and the war? Do they come with misconceptions? I'm just trying to get a sense of how, you know, regular Americans understand where this war is in history.
Some do come with an understanding, some don't. As I said, we have some great teachers. There are some courses, believe it or not, in some of the high schools in New Jersey. Their electives are 6 months about the Vietnam War. Some of them spend a few days. So they come here prepared with questions, some don't. The ones that have questions want to know what it was like. We tell them what it was like growing up in that era, what it was like being drafted or enlisting. So we get a varied degree of understanding and questions from the students that come.
Let me ask you, Bill. So now happy to hear that and to understand that now Americans are no longer spitting and throwing things at you and the other veterans who fought, and that those who lost their lives in that conflict are being honored in the same way that all veterans of our country should be. But take me back now to 1968 when you first landed in country. I've been to Vietnam, and it's so interesting to talk to people there now about how they feel about the United States. And I'm curious to your thoughts as to the actions that, because you said something really important, and I want our viewers to understand. You said that we actually did win that war in Vietnam, and that's important for people to understand that some of the metrics that we use to classify whether a war is won or lost are where we've seen some of those challenges to that notion come up. But I want to, we're showing a picture of you there in 1969. You haven't changed a bit.
Same mustache. That's
you
great.
have not changed,
I think
man.
I'm a little white. I'm a little white and gray now.
That's it.
Yeah, but that's you. So take us back to 1968, 1969, when you first get there, and your thoughts on what you were being asked to do in an effort to win this war. Some of the tactics that the U.S. military employed, whether it's the use of chemical agents, whether some of the tactics that you were asked to employ because you were faced with these guerrilla tactics that, for the most part, our troops had not really ever seen before in combat. What are your thoughts about the Vietnamese people and the actions that you and other soldiers took during those times?
It's. I mean, it'd take a lot of time. But when you first got there, you're confused. You get into your platoon. I was a combat medic, so my job was to take care of the sick and wounded. But what it turned out to be over the course of time, people said, "What kept you going? How did you think you survived?" And the issue is we developed a bond between each other, the people in my platoon, and we fought for each other. We fought, we did our job, and we did our work, whatever we were asked to do. So hopefully we would all come back to the world alive. When you talked about the Vietnamese people, we didn't do it a lot, but when we walked through a village, I felt so absolutely astonished. You see these people, they're farmers. They have kids. All they wanted to do, quite frankly, from my perspective, was to farm their land and raise their kids. They didn't care about democracy or communism. They wanted to be left alone. Yet the Viet Cong were the enemy, were coming in at night and causing violence and taxing them and killing them. The Americans came through during the day. And you just feel so sorry for these people because they just want to be left alone. As far as Agent Orange, yeah, I mean, now we're suffering the effects and the consequences. And I was in an area that was heavily sprayed, but you didn't realize it then. You didn't know. And so you just went on, and we were in the field 20, 30 days at a time, got resupplied every 3 days. So you were just in kind of a survival mode. And again, fighting for each other and trying to make sure and ensure that your buddies came home.
Well, Bill, thanks for giving us just a little bit of your time and your memories. We really appreciate it. If you're in New Jersey, swing by the New Jersey Vietnam Vets Memorial. You never know, you might see Bill there. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your service, Bill.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.